Rudd are a fantastic species to fish for in the summer months. Now, I've just fished an early morning session on one of the fenland drains. I've had a few big fish and I'm just going to run through a few tips and tricks to help you pick off them larger specimens. Now, my favourite tactic for targeting big rudd in the summer months has to be the waggler. Now, it's stepped up waggler gear, it's not your standard waggler gear, it's a tension specimen float rod and that's 13 foot. And with that I'm using a £6 line. Now, this is simply because there's so much weed and lilies and vegetation that I need to steer the fish away from to get them into the net. Now, my favourite float for the job is a loaded Drennan pellet waggler. Now, this is crystal, so it's less obtrusive to the fish and is absolutely perfect for these clear water conditions. This is a 5 gram version we've got at the minute, and this is just purely because when the wind gets up it's a little bit difficult to cast and you need a bit more weight to amend your line and you want to be hitting them targets with pinpoint accuracy. And this is just held in place with 2 gripper stops either side to allow you to change the depth without damaging the line. Now, because it's quite weedy, I use a strong hook length like this. It's a wide gape hook to nylon and it's a size 12 to 5 pound, strong enough to land any rudd that you're going to hook. Now, my top 2 hook baits for targeting big rudd have to be bread and corn. Now, this is cheap and simple, but there's a few different ways I like to fish it. Now, probably the most effective way, the most visual way of fishing it is with a crust on the surface so you can see the takes. But if they're a bit wary and you're trying to fool maybe the bigger fish from the shoal, you want to put a bit of flake on and that slowly sink through the swim and will hopefully buy you the extra bite. Now, when I'm fishing corn, rather than hooking a single grain, I like to fish 2 grains of corn back to back, and I find that sinks a lot slower and tends to buy me the bigger fish. Now, to locate these fish, I usually walk along the top of the bank firing out small pieces of the bread. I'm using probably a piece of bread that sort of size, and you're just firing out 2 or 3 every 10-20 metres into the river, some mid-river, some far bank and some close bank. Now, hopefully that will locate you some bigger fish. Now, 2 more vital bits of kit are a pair of Polaroid sunglasses to cut through that surface glare so you can see the fish, and a sturdy pair of walking boots. Now, you could be walking a long way, but it will all be worth it when you have that PB rudd waiting in the net for some photos.